This is Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
Innocent minds, reaching out to the stars, breaking all limitations, reaching your destination. Innocent minds, reaching out to the stars, breaking all limitations, reaching your destination. Making you feel so hopeless. Walking in the trend has made you breathless. It's the information you've been feeding on. Who said you can't get to the top? Who said you would hard and never work? Who said that the morning will never come? Open a brand new page in your mind. Innocent minds, reaching out to the stars.
Innocent Minds, clarity, possibilities, change. Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
I'd like to welcome you today to Inside Innocent Minds. Today, we're looking at conscious resistance, and we're taking you into one of our very phenomenal experience at one of our trainings. My name is Innocent Usa. I'm a lifestyle coach and a trainer of neuro-linguistics programming, NLP, and I'd like to welcome you to Inside Innocent Minds. We'll take a short break. When we return, you will see and hear even more that will change your perspective on the ease with which you can communicate.
Inside Innocent Minds will be right back. Innocent Minds. Education for real empowerment.
My name is Tolu Afonja. I'm a human resource consultant. NLP has helped me to relate better with my family, with my colleagues, and friends at large. I make better relationships and partnerships, even on the job. The nature of my job involves training and facilitating. The presentation and platform skills is helping me to connect better with my audience. As an individual in my home, I'm able to relate better with my daughter without screaming at the top of my voice. This is my NLP story. What's yours?
One fateful afternoon, it was supposed to be an in-laws party, his 40th birthday party. I was heavily pregnant, and I was to be left at home because nobody wanted a pregnant woman besides them.
Innocent Minds, clarity, possibilities, change. Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
Have you gotten that look before? That look that says, I'm not with you, I'm not taking what you're saying. That look that says, I do not agree with what you're trying to communicate. That is what conscious resistance creates. Today on Inside Innocent Minds, we introduce something peculiar and something different. We let you into the house with us at one of our very interesting trainings. Our NLP Results Certification trainings offer people unusual perspectives into the major blockages and the major things hindering influence. And one of the things that you will discover is that unconsciously, a lot of people do not know that when they hear anything that is new, anything that is unfamiliar, anything, whether it's information or communication that is trying to come to them to persuade them and influence them in the area of change, they do not know that they resist it. How does the mind of man work in such a manner that conscious resistance becomes a huge issue? I'd like you to pay attention to today's episode of Inside Innocent Minds as we go into one of our trainings and let you into the world of unconscious or conscious resistance rather. Stay tuned. Enjoy it.
Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
According to psychologist Maurice Marcy, you get to a certain age where who you are has been formed, and it is formed by the environment, what you are here, you've heard your upbringing. We talked about significant emotional experiences and all of that, okay? So you get to a place where there are literally, let's put it in layman's language, there's literally no space for new information to come in, because the old information has taken ownership and has become landlord. Okay? So when the new information comes, new information like, you ought not to sit and put your hand like that on your chin. Her mind is saying, for what? Huh? For what? For what? Who are you to even tell me what to do? That's not why I came for this training. They're trying to embarrass me. All that rationalization is the old information. I'm trying to say, hey, shoo. I'm telling her, and maybe I'm telling her, if you sit like this, eventually there will be a dent in your chin or something. Okay, just as an example. I was like, everything that you have known comes against and resists anything that is new information coming, whether good or bad. The mind is perfect at resisting anything that comes. When we say the brain of a young child of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 7, 12, thereabout, as they get older, the resistance begins to form. When they're younger, we say they are in their formative what? Yes. So now you can. So that's why by the time you start beating them when they are 14, 18, now you're still beating. Not like to even beat them. I mean, there are people who were raised with, some people say to me, they were doing physical abuse on radio. I mean, the kind of physical abuse I went through was, my dad, this one is small, this, I'd rather do this than, he'll gather the sticks, the arrow sticks. Some of you, when dad was angry, say, go inside the house, you go inside. I don't go inside. Which inside? I was telling Sunni this day, they get that say go inside, you go inside. I don't go inside. Go inside where? That's how I take off for days. They have to come begging, like, where am I? Like, please just come back home. You know? Because my father, scars on my back and everything. You know? It's reframing when you yourself have said, thank God I went through that, otherwise I would have been somebody else. Okay, but it's also because they didn't know how else to do it. Otherwise, you didn't need all of that. There's a plate for, there's some foolishness in a child that sometimes you need a little whip. But a lot of what happens in this our society is abuse and dysfunction. A lot of abuse. From well-meaning people. I took my wife to the village one day, and my mom's brother, my uncle, said, is your wife a good wife? I said, yes. Is she doing well? I said, yes. He said, just in case, so if she's not, send her to me. He will beat her up. Yes. Yes. He said he'll beat her up for me, and he was saying it so you could just say well-meaning love for me. Yes. You need to understand that. See, when you, part of the problem with people out there, and the reason why I came for this course, is that we need to be able to build for you the same things you use in your car. It's called what? Shock absorbers. So that when you hear some things, you see some things, you're able to say, as an observer who has done neurolinguistics, when you say, what you see just informs you, like, okay, this is where this person is at. It's not for you to just, so they're reacting. No, you see, that's the point where in the last class, Tolua, we said, so people here, people are gay, and they're like, Tolua now told me in the class, she said, please don't even start talking about gay now, please, because I'm going to feel like vomiting. Why? We are largely raised a homophobic society. We hate to hear it, but it's true. Myself inclusive. And I hope I remember to tell you the story of my first encounter, my first 2 encounters in the UK. somebody telling me I'm gay, and I almost peed in my pants, and you know, it's actually more dramatic than that. And then the other next one, I slept in his house, and he delivered the bombshell in the night in a city I had never been. I was broke, no transport to run away. What? We will talk about it.
Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
As you continue to pay attention to some of the things I said at this event on conscious resistance, you will add more perspective, and conscious resistance will no longer be an issue for you. Keep watching this now. Okay? It's the trying to bypass conscious resistance, like the kid that I talked about yesterday who would get into exam situations and fret. People began to think, how else can we approach some kids who are like that? They say, okay, the Montessori approach. I went to this school where the kids do their tests and they grade themselves. I don't know whether that's the Montessori whatever thing. They grade themselves. They do it and then they carry the book and they look at the answers and they grade. Nobody, and they score, and that's how they score themselves all through the whatever. And there are some schools who there's no grade, there's no you came first or you did well or what, those kinds of things. Okay? So you trick the mind. You learn tricks to trick the mind so that you can bypass what? Conscious resistance. When I say stop touching your blouse, that thing that makes you say, ha! What's your own? It's conscious what? Resistance. Thou shalt not sin. What do you expect? Conscious resistance. Our approach to gay people, what do you get? Conscious resistance. Our approaches to different societal issues, where we're in your face with a lot of things, all you get is conscious resistance. In fact, we had to reorganize our radio program in Lagos because it was going in that direction where every radio program you listen to, people are doling out advice. Yeah. So what do you think you get? Conscious. There's nothing new. It's the same old. I didn't have to tune to this radio station to hear that advice. It's advice. I could go to my grandmother. People come to me in coaching. They call on radio and they send me a text. They say, please, I have been smoking. Advise me how to stop. How can an advice stop smoking of 16 years? How? Oh, we're fighting in our house, so I came to you to advise me. How can I advise? So what was the advising? Stop fighting. You get conscious resistance. The impact doesn't last. Finally, before I go on, okay, this is helping us focus on the manual later. My friend has a son who is about 8, David. So he comes home and he says to David, you're a world changer. Please pay attention to this. You're a world changer. You know what changers do? World changers fix problems. World changers keep their rooms neat. World changers are tidy. World changers don't allow their sisters to cry. They don't even make them cry. When the sister is crying, world changers go around, they fix their sisters up. World changers are like Superman. Wherever evil prevails, world changers show up. Ta-da! And they fix the problem. So you are a world changer. Do you want to be a world changer? Yes, Dad, I want to be a world changer. So, Daddy came home from work the next day, and there's some piece of paper, and he says, is there no world changer here? And the guy shows up. Ta-da! And he cleans up the paper. Pay attention. The next day, plates in the sink, unwashed. Is there no world changers here? Ta-da! David shows up in the kitchen. Shh! Plates are washed. Next day, the sister is crying. Daddy arrives home. Why is this girl crying? Is there no world changer here? Ta-da! The boy appears and fixes the problem. So the world changer movement was birthed. Problem is, one day, repeatedly, Daddy shows up this day, sees some mess somewhere and says, is there no world changer here? David shows up. Daddy, I'm tired of being a world changer. I don't want to be a world changer anymore. Any change that does not go beyond the conscious resistance would not last. It's not enduring. It's not sustainable. And you have merely caused outer change to happen, and there is no inner transformation. Unfortunately, in our society, you talk about these things and people say to you, look, we are talking about the Word of God by the Maker. It's the only thing that can change man. I have said it too in the past. When I came in contact with superior information, I discovered that I'm a Christian. I go back to the Bible and I see that that was what the Bible was even communicating. But because I have always approached it religious from the provision of religion, I now talk with a lot of my friends. I have a friend who is Buddhist in France. I have very close friends now who are Muslims that I have literally some incredible level of rapport and understanding with now. Because we all have this background information that the biggest problem is conscious resistance. Stop smoking. Is the information correct? Yes. Is the approach right? No. So results not gotten. Which do you prefer? There's some people say, what? Some people say, look, truth has to be truth. Truth has to be said. It's a lie. You are exposing your ignorance.
You said there's no that way to truth. No that way around.
Yes. You are exposing your ignorance. Because if I show you and you say you're a Christian, if I show you the Bible and I show you the skill with which this guy used to communicate truth, it would shock you. Let's move on fast. Hold the thought. Write it down somewhere. Okay, write it down somewhere. So, conscious resistance is a problem. New information coming? No way. A lot of what we're doing here is to learn what are the methods that these masters of NLP have used, have learned, have discovered that helps people to bypass conscious resistance. What are the skills? What are the tricks? What are the methods? What are the techniques? But before we look at those techniques, we're looking at the principles that are upon which those techniques are built.
Inside Innocent Minds will be right back. What skills would employees and staff of organizations acquire from NLP leadership training with IMI Consulting and Innocent Minds? Leadership skills. Develop peak performance and motivation. Understand how people tick. Increase your flexibility to work with a variety of contrasting personalities. Experience greater well-being even under very stressful conditions. Elicit valuable unconscious information to help colleagues transform. Work easily and productively. To enroll for our NLP courses in Lagos, Abuja, or Jos, please call Jerry on 0806-552-1140 or Talatu on 0803-201-5725.
I'm a consultant in leadership development and also the senior pastor of Royal House Christian Center. I run an organization known as Take the Lead Initiative, focusing on leadership development and trainings. I head about NLP trainings which I came to attend. The experience has been phenomenal. It has affected my career positively, it has affected my family, it has affected me personally, somehow at the course of the trainings, I've learned how to relate with people better. I've learned how to also see the way people behave and not to blame them for their actions. There are so many things you will learn while attending NLP. One of them is how to relate better. And that has been a major challenge for me, which now I can boldly stand and say, relationship now is very, very easy for me. Thank you.
Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
Spiritual is different than to be religious. You know, and I like to be spiritual. And now I have met the white people who, to them, the word spiritual also means something different, and I respect that. I respect that, and I'm talking about coming from a very, and I think we're getting a bit ahead of us, but I'm telling you the reason why we use a lot of examples that we use is because in most of our audiences, and then the biggest challenge we have had with teaching NLP in Nigeria is it will take you away from God. It will take you away from God. It will take you away from God. So you have that at the back, and there are people in this audience, there are people here who have heard something like that.
Inside Innocent Minds will be right back.
And you're wondering why you keep getting that from people, whether they're doing it physically or they are actually doing it with an attitude. Many times you get conscious resistance because you do not know what is going on. Inside Innocent Minds seeks to educate you, and much more beyond that. That is what you get when you come to our NLP Results Certification Training. We're helping people beat conscious resistance. Now today, my spouse and I have an excellent relationship because we understand how this works, and we have learnt the skills with which you can communicate in such a manner that gets no conscious resistance.
Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
I had a conversation with a woman, a Muslim woman, who had some issues at home, and the husband said, "Is this NLP you have gone for? I think it's a Christian thing." Meanwhile, the biggest challenge we have even in Lagos today is from the church. Don't go for that NLP thing. Because for some of those people, especially those who are pastors, is that NLP is beginning to make people to think, to ask questions, to probe deeper. And people who are in the business of control, you'll notice that from your movie yesterday. The number one weapon they use against you is what? Fear.
Inside Innocent Minds will be right back.
The moment we started to understand the import and the power that is behind how to communicate effectively and how to connect with people, beating away conscious resistance, it became absolutely easy to work with people from which you are from different backgrounds, who are not necessarily your enemies, but with whom you have worked together the skills that helps you beat conscious resistance. Unconscious resistance shows up in communications. It shows up at work, shows up at home, shows up with parents and their kids and their teenagers. It shows up with teachers. It shows up with pastors. It shows up with imams. It shows up with political leaders and with different kinds of people. I don't know where it is showing up in your life, but it is showing up somewhere. I like to say to you that you need to watch out where unconscious resistance is showing up in your life and defeat it today.
Inside Innocent Minds, the platform for extraordinary people.
Rafael Nadal playing tennis with his left hand and nobody could figure out his technique. And then today you wonder why everybody else is beating him. Because people are always thinking, how can we do this better? And that thing that sends us on a quest to improve and to self-actualize it's something. And again, see that's where, again, honestly, I believe in God. So I say it's something that God put on the inside of us to be like Him. The desire for man to go to Mars is the nature of God. The desire for man to look for a cure for HIV, the nature of God in man. And especially with my Muslim friends, when they share with me from the Quran what the Quran says about certain things, it makes more sense because they are more intellectual driven.
True.
And the Christians are taking advantage of more because we have been told, It's revelation. So if I came to you and said to you, it's been revealed to me that if you do waka waka, waka waka, waka waka, you'll be healed, even though it makes no sense, you go around doing waka waka, waka waka. I mean, my friend told me the other day he saw somebody with a big stone. I said, what? They said, no, we should bring something in church that represents our problem. Big stone. Educated man. I bought that theory for many years as well. I'm sure I'm not alone.
Inside Innocent Minds will be right back.
Welcome back. Wow. Did you hear all of that? Can you see that this is really an issue in our workplaces, in our communication, in our relationships, and literally wherever it is that we live with people? Conscious isn't an issue. It can be defeated if you and I partner together and see how we can add perspective to our lives. It may be at your work. It may be with your business. It may be with your communication skills. It may even be with your spouse and with your family. Wherever it is that unconsciousness is showing, you can deal with it. You can get a handle on who you are and the influence that you want to create and the communication that you want to pass across, and your life can be the better for it. Inside Innocent Minds provides for you an avenue today. Capture it, take advantage of it, use it. I'd like to connect with you soon. We want to connect with you so that together we can create a new order of change and transformation. Thank you for being with us today on Inside Innocent Minds. Bye, kid.
Bye.